It's sometime in late October, and it's actually a nice day. It's about 65 out. Not the nicest day, it's not the worst. Time for an Octember fail that is not, in fact, an Octember fail. A lot of people have blown Octember fails out of the water as far as what it's supposed to constitute. So here's the deal. Here's my Badger. There's too much sun for me to see the screen. Badger Weedwacker. It starts, it runs, it does what it's supposed to. But the head of it, over here, I think you can see it. Yeah, see that metal? That's not supposed to happen. The whole shit's about ready to pop off and break forever. As it is, this string is short. There you go. That one is long. And the reason why is because the whole thing is just fucked up beyond all recognition. Sometimes people like to call that foobar. But yeah, that just wore out from use. It just so happened that it's Octember now. Not an Octember fail. It just happened to be now that I noticed it. Because when I went to use it the other day, as I bump it on the ground to get more string, I get sparks shoot out. So it wore out sometime over the summer. Just because I noticed it in October doesn't make it an October fail. Just happened to be. But this is the last time I'm going to start this for the year. So see if I could see what's in the screen here. Like I said, I'm trying to do this in the sun so you can see, but I can't. There should be about no fuel in this, which is exactly what I want, because I hope to run it out of fuel. It may not be enough to even start it. That primer bulb seems pretty empty, but we'll see if it'll fire. If not, I'll get some gas. Yeah, I think she's thirsty. Oh, I got a little squirt. Another shot. Oh, just barely. Yeah, it's gonna need gas. For some reason people find adding fuel to be interesting. You're not even gonna see nothing here because it's out of your way and in mine. This gas can has got one of them stupid lip jobbies that you gotta like push. Alright, that's all I'm gonna add. Hopefully that'll be enough. Because I don't want to end up with a whole tank that I gotta dump out and that. I just gotta get done this one last time for the season. So let's see if that'll do. Got a little gas in there now. There we are. Alright, she's running, and I'm going to go weed whack. That's the boring part, so you won't see that kind. Alright, so here's the Ghetto Fabulous lawnmower. I had maybe an ounce of 2-cycle left in the weed whacker I dumped in here. Unfortunately, this thing is kind of more like a V8. It just eats up the gas, so I put about 1/4 of an ounce in to go with it. That should be enough, because you know the E on the gas gauge stands for enough. As far as the Earl, it's within the range. It's not great, but it's certainly enough for the last mow of the year. So that's all good. Now this mower has traditionally been hard to start, and I thought we'd try a little spearmint and find out if it's due to low compression. So the way you do that is pour a little oil in the cylinder. Spoiler alert, I've done this, it doesn't make any difference, so it's not a compression issue. So you're getting a smoke show just to, you know, just to do it. All right, let's pull this plug out. The finest in tools. A stamped steel spark plug remover that barely works, but it's just enough for what we need. It never goes on straight, that's why it goes all cattywampus like that. So there's the plug. It was replaced this season, last season, something. It's a lawnmower plug, that's what it is. Put that down. Pop that in. That's good enough. I got some 1040. I don't know why I have 1040, but I have 1040. It's handy. It's more than enough for what we need. Okay, that should do. Just enough. Just enough for a little smoke show. And if it's too much, what'll be really nice is the motor will actually, the mower will actually hydrolock on oil, and then I'll have to clear that out. So we'll see if that's going to be the case, because you want to get just the right amount of oil in there, as much as you can that it'll still work, but by the same token, not so much that you can't crank her over. Now, of course, plug's stuck in there because that's the kind of tool this is, so we just got to put it in and not cross-thread it. You just got to kind of work your arm crooked like that, and it works. By the way, you see how like it stops there? It'll run. You could turn it out 2 turns. It's going to run. There's going to be leakage from there. There's going to be blow-by, but it's going to fire. It's not a big deal. People go in there and they go and tighten these down. Oh my God, let me get this to the right torque and that. And torque is important for a lot of things, but for this, that's it. That's all we're going to need. So put that on, and now you get to watch me kill my back trying to get this to start. Now, how does it start in weather like this? I have no idea. I don't mow this late in the season, but I can tell you one thing. The forecast for the pool opening next season, absolutely green, because we've had too many warm days in October, so already the entire thing is green and there's just no way out. We're going to do, well, first of all, we're going to see if we can pull the rope at all. She's a little tight, but it turns, so now we'll give her. Oh, kick. Go. That's what a ghetto fabulous lawnmower should look like. Look at the chooch, ladies and gentlemen. Over the fence, the chooch, ladies and gentlemen. sometimes I could get it where it'll do a loud pop as soon as it's done. It like fires with the exhaust valve open, and I missed it that time. Still smoking out of there. The smoke will dissipate. There's the lawnmower. The smoke will dissipate probably in another minute or two. But it was just a fun little smoke show just to do it. You can do the same. They say that when you're storing an engine for a period of time, to take the plug out and put about a teaspoon of oil in there. I put maybe a tablespoon, but something like that. And then leave it. So I could do that, and then in the spring, you know, start that up for the first time. People be driving by and shit, and they'd be like, holy shit, look at that guy's fucking mower, what's wrong with that? Anyway, that's it. Just the last mow of the season. It's mowing the lawn. It sucks, but it's got to be done one last time. So we gave you a smoke show and an Octember fail that was not a failure in Octember. There is one other one that I want to show you before we close out that is, again, an Octember fail that is not really an Octember fail. The garage AC is out of commission. It's obviously shut down for the season, but the other day, last week, whatever it was, went to mow, and I went to unplug it for the season, and I said, just for fun, one last time before it shut down for the winter. Now, I'm not interested now in the compressor running, so if you're trying to get your rocks off like that, it ain't happening in this video. There's plenty of others that I've recorded, but that requires that you do work, and we know that's completely off limits. So anyway, the fan motor capacitor is pretty much done for. This may make a liar out of me, but last week I turned it on and I simply got a hum. Turned it off, turned it back on, another hum, off and on again, another hum, and then the fourth time it actually begrudgingly got going. I don't know what'll happen this time. Not much of anything. Oh, there he goes. The fan in it, to me, also sounds slower than it used to run. I'll wait for it to stop, and I'll turn it on one more time. Pretty sure it will just turn on. We're gonna have to, I still feel air coming out, so it's probably still coasting. That's probably not enough. But alright, yeah, it came up, but it's real slow and begrudging. So I looked up parts for this. Now it's unplugged for the season. I looked up parts for this, and there were two capacitors listed. One is a split capacitor with your fan and Herm, and another is a separate little black capacitor, and it doesn't stipulate what either of them are. I know the one, so really I'd kind of have to open this and see. It's getting cold now. This will give you something to get off on in the future, so you won't see it in this video. You understand? It's the delayed gratification that makes the orgasm that much stronger. So learn from that. Sometime in the spring, we're going to have to open this guy up and take a look. From what I understand, it should not require pulling the unit out of the wall, because that's a big pain in the dick. Anyway, I have rambled on long enough, and I got a fucking lawn to mow, or lawn to mow, so I'll go take care of that. In the meantime, that is going to wrap up this sort of discombobulated yet sort of fun episode of the JK18 channel and Octember fails that aren't actually Octember fails. See, it's Octember, it failed, but that doesn't make it an Octember fail. I had stated back in May when I started this up that the capacitor was probably on its way out. So it's definitely not an Octember fail. I just happened to notice it now. Anyway, that's going to wrap this up. Too much babbling bullshit with Jay. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.